Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and welcome back to your halftime show. We are currently, obviously, as you all know, losing 1-0 thanks to a penalty inside the first 10 minutes. I've got your comments coming in thick and fast, and I will try and get to them as soon as I possibly can. I'll just welcome in Mr. Robbie D. Robbie D, the Don. What are you saying about that first half? What is going on?
Well, I just think people wonder why Ipswich Town fans on Twitter and all the rest of it are negative. No, you've got it right there, haven't you? In 45 minutes, we make a mistake, which can happen at any time. We go behind, and then we look like, that looked like your Sunday morning team trying to come back into that game, didn't it?
We certainly do. We got
there's
Ryan
players in there.
Cartwright, who has been a hero through the first half. He's been on this show putting comments because he's watching it and getting angry, it looks like. He thinks Toto's mere presence is a penalty. Thomas Ebling, horrendous, no clear system or tactics. And most of the players look half asleep, although they can't be bothered. Buck stops at the top. Legacy Bates, where's plan A? Nick Muller, just need to score 4. Jacob Farrow, Judge, why oh why, I've run out of words. Benjamin Michael, good God. I think we all need a bit of need to face reality. Big wake-up call incoming. There's so many messages, and I absolutely love you, and keep them coming in. I will try and get to them as fast as I can. JT, garbage, calling it now. If we fail to win today or worse, we will foul on promotion, and Paul Lambert will go. Amy Downs is back with us. The dream team are all back together. A Cruncher says, absolutely woeful. First half thoughts. Where was the urgency, Amy? Where was the pace and the tempo? What did you think of the first half?
It's calm and we're sort of collected. We're acting like we're in control, but we're not. We're just not doing anything. There's nothing. There's 3 goals that we should have scored, particularly Jackson, and I couldn't see who else it was because I had my son stood in front of me, but there was so it was Jackson to Sears, wasn't it? And then Sears should have shot, and then there was another chance, and then there was another shot after that should have gone in, because there's too much calm. There's no passion. There's no actually we really, really, really need to win this game.
Rob, Alan Judge is taking an absolute battering in the comments section. Talk to me about Alan Judge in that first half. What did you like and what didn't you like?
I want to talk about why he's in the team. Judge doesn't pick the team. Neither does Sears. I'm not happy with either of them, but there's only one man that makes them both in the team. At the end of the day, if you can't get us up for Shrewsbury at home in the first game of a big week, in the game that we're expected to win, we're favourites in the only one of those 3. I mean, he's got to go if he can't get us over the line in this game, in my opinion. Because how can we prepare ourselves? As Amy rightly said earlier, this game today is about gaining confidence for the week, right? How's that confidence at the moment?
Well, it's not. It didn't start well.
We've got another player injured. We had that substitution. Our shape was all over the place.
Don't worry about that.
It was like me drawing a shape at school. That by half for 10 minutes in there. Yeah. It was we're all over the place. And to be honest, we have a chance. As Amy's right, we could easily have been level, but we looked really susceptible. And the problem is that both fullbacks are sort of free, aren't they? There's nobody directly running at them. And then you've got Mark Pugh and Charlie Daniels for them, both good players. So just sort of whenever they get the opportunity, causing us problems. But they're not up against Chambers or Ward, are they? They've got space and they're utilising it. I worry about us going 2-0 down in this game on the break because they look dangerous. A lot of teams are creating chances and scoring goals against Shrewsbury, right?
Yeah.
But we're not. Is that us or is that them?
We've created a little bit. I think we're going to win this game. I'm going to be honest. I think we're going to win this game of football. I still
have to win this game.
Believe we're going to win it. I still think we're the better team. I think we started too slowly, and questions have to be asked as to why we started slowly after a 2-week break. I want to see some accountability. McGuinness again at full. It's okay to say, why is Judge playing, why is Sears playing, but we're such a big squad. I want to start seeing accountability from my management. You're not performing well. I don't care what Arsenal want. I don't care what so-and-so wants. I don't care what happens here. If you're not performing well, let's start having some accountability and responsibility, because these players ultimately do cross the white line. And today, to a man, I haven't seen a single player, maybe excluding Caden Jackson, stand up and make a case for the next game. The penalty decision. There's a lot of chats in the comments in the chat in the chat box. For me, it wasn't a penalty. I think it wasn't a penalty full stop. How did you two see that decision?
Amy, you can go
Stonewall.
first.
I
Stonewall,
don't think you can argue with that at all.
No, I struggle to disagree. Maybe if you look back at replays, but this is League One. This is the price you pay for being in League One. There's no VAR. There's no one in the stadium, let alone VAR. Yeah, first look, that's a penalty. If I'm behind that goal, the whole end's screaming for that. Absolutely screaming. And if that doesn't get given, we're on the ref's back for the rest of the game. That's a penalty.
Absolutely.
It was naive
Not
from
Wolfenden,
not Wolfenden, sorry, McGuinness.
well.
He left the leg dangling.
Yeah, I think in real time you give it, because in real time it looks a penalty. But I think it's one of those, if you had VAR, I think it would not have been given, because I've watched it back several times and he cuts across him. And I think anytime you cut across in the box, the player immediately is going to be feeling for something. I just didn't see it. But in real time...
You're on the other side to the ref. The ref can't see for sure, so he always gives it. The ref's always given that.
Well,
I'm not blaming the ref at all for that, really.
Oh,
he's always given that.
No, nor am I. I can see why it was given. I'm not saying I can't see what was given, because it's one of those, whereas even as a defender, playing defence my whole life, it's going to be a penalty. I'm just saying that if you had...
I hate to say it, but that came from Stephen Ward's position.
Yeah,
that came from Stephen Ward's position. Look where McGuinness was. He was sucked well out wide into Ward's position and then was chasing the guy back into the box.
Yep. Absolutely.
What was that position for that?
That, for me, is the problem. Not whether it was a penalty or not. It's why there was that opportunity. Why it got to that point where that player was so sort of, on to score there and got his heels clipped like he did. Why did we leave that wing so empty? There was no one there.
Yeah, we were caught a bit out of position there. But talking about penalties, we should have had one ourselves. Just because you don't hit the ground doesn't mean it's not a penalty. Nowhere in the rule book does it say player must hit the deck like he's been shot to get a penalty. Toto Ntiala was pushed inside the 6-yard box, clear as day. Where's that decision?
It's true, but it's true. But at the end of the day, their player hit the deck and got the penalty. Ours didn't. Here we are. Hitting the deck makes the case stronger, I'm afraid. That is football. Whether you like it or not is another discussion, another podcast. But if you hit the deck, the chances increase by tenfold, don't they?
Absolutely. And I just think, Amy, surely as football, we want to start moving away from this hit the ground sort of decision making. Like, the referee's looking straight at it, surely. He can see it. Does Toto have to hit the ground like he's been shot for a penalty in that instance? Does he really?
Well, I think on the other side of the argument, they had a second claim for a penalty where Mick Mills said, I think the problem was the player went down too willingly. So actually, it's not as simple as saying, you've got to roll around like you've been shot, because the referees don't like that either. It's pot luck. There are referees who wouldn't have given their penalty that they did get because it was soft and it was a bit harsh on us. I think he probably didn't give their second call for a penalty and our call for a penalty because of the early penalty that he had given. VAR cannot account for stuff like that happening during a game, and the human side to it. I was a bit harsh on that decision, so I'll maybe let this one go. I don't think you can really question it. I'm with you. I'd much rather not see that in football, but
I think Shrewsbury's second one, the claim you were talking about, where I don't know what Holy was doing, by the way. He came out and saved the shot. He didn't even have a shot. Anyway, that's another discussion.
Well, let's talk about Thomas Holy.
I don't know what he was doing, but I think I was just going to say, I think their guy lost one of his standing foot and then threw himself to the ground when he realised what was happening. It was definitely a dive for me. One thing I've got to say before this is that why are we starting so slow? We were 2-0 down at home to Portsmouth before I'd even got into the ground last week, or a couple of weeks ago. And now this week we're behind after that penalty was after like 2 minutes 20 seconds, man. I mean, why are we starting so slow? Home crowd would have been all over the team for starting like that. They're lucky we're not in there. All over them for that.
I know I'm old-fashioned, but give me a goalie that saves a ball fired at him, please. I mean, it's gone straight through.
I don't know how he hasn't saved that. I don't know how he hasn't saved that. He's dived the right way. He's read the penalty and still not saved it.
It's gone through him. It's gone through the bloke. Like, just get behind it. Anyway, right. As we close the halftime show, don't forget the full-time show will be live the moment the full-time whistle goes. We want to hear from you. Get yourself on the show. Have your say. But before we do go, how do we change this game? For me, I bring Norwood on. I go 2 up top. I get a bit more tempo about it. Maybe bring Keenan Bennett's on as well. How do you two change it? Rob, you go first. How do you change it? How do you win this game for Ipswich Town?
This is all about the manager right here in this 45 minutes, right? In that first season at the club, we went down, we played some good football, we got credit, brought the crowd on side, all those things we all know. Last season, it unravelled, there was COVID. There's some excuses. So far this season, he's had one fit striker, maybe some excuses. All of that is gone. All of those excuses are gone. This 45 minutes is the biggest 45 minutes of the season so far because it sets us up for the whole week. If we can't turn around Shrewsbury at home, he bottled all those big games last season, not motivating the players, not getting them up. We lost them all. If you can't turn this around, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Amy, what do you do? Terry said second half, high tempo for 10 minutes, get caught on the counter and Norwood sending off. Christopher Martin, 4-4-2. Norwood and Jackson up top. Sterling DGS, bring Norwood and Bennett on. Amy, what do you do?
Nodding along to Rob there, completely agreeing. Short of sacking Lambert at half time, as much as I'd love to, I think that I'm kind of the one bit of hope that I'm clinging on to is that we are coming out. The games that I have watched with you guys were much stronger in the second half, so I have a tiny glimmer of hope that we may come out and do that. He may well give them a rollicking during that gets them out. I have very, very, very little faith that Lambert will turn this game around, and I think this week is going to be miserable.
Yep. Ben King, take Judge off, Amy. The new Gardner. Go 4-4-2. Wolfenden on for Toto. Norwood on for Judge. Put Lancashire out wide. MW, late to this one. Agree with comments on Judge. Absolute waste of time in this game so far. And JT says we'll probably end up disappointing 1-1 draw. I do agree with Rob. I think this is the time when your manager earns his money, quite frankly. You've played for Borussia Dortmund. You've managed several clubs. Now you've got to start earning that money because you're a goal down. You've got 4 substitutions. You've got the whole game, the whole playbook open to you. Nothing is off the table. Be the manager, take control, and hold these players' feet to the fire. And at half time, he needs to be getting into them because they've been flat throughout. And Chambers as captain, you also step up as the alpha male and you start rallying your troops because some of that in that first half was really poor. So, full time.
Martin, the question is, quickly before we go, if we don't turn this round, you've just laid it on the platter, the shared platter in some, I don't know, flaming grill or something. But Lambert has to sort this out at half time. If he doesn't and we lose this game, where do you stand on Lambert?
Well, you'll find that out at full time, my mate. You'll find that out at full time because
I'm looking forward to that.
I've got patience. But it's running very thin, and I have to start seeing more from my leaders. And the leader of that team is Chambers, and the leader of the overall club is Paul Lambert. I have to start seeing more. We'll see you all at full time. 3 points incoming. Have the faith.